Hello and welcome back to the United States Amateur Disc Golf Championships presented by Discraft. This PDGA event, which is a major one of two for amateurs during the year here at Kensington Metro Park at the Toboggan Course. Super famous, a little bit adjusted here in Milford, Michigan, but we're super excited. And again, I have on the commentator's mic Luke with me. Super excited to have you.
Yeah, hello everybody.
Looking quick at the front nine scores, Robert leading the charge here at 4 down. Pretty solid score for our front nine. As we get headed into the back nine, we're going to start with hole 10, a 428-foot par 3 here. Pretty tricky, actually. Not quite as windy as the drone is indicating right now. You want it to fly exactly where the drone is going, attack this gap on a disc that's going to still finish straight to the right and try to get into the circle. That gap is quite small.
Yes, getting into the circle here is quite the accomplishment. I feel like if you hit the gap, the most common spot to land is around 40 feet. Robert throwing his max distance flippy or destroyer here, and he really rips this one.
And this is just going.
That's perfect. That's as good as you can throw the hole, especially on a backhand line.
I wonder if anyone's ever gotten an ace here.
I do not think so. You'd have to go through this lucky right side gap and be pushing the ceiling the whole time. It's quite the crush to get an ace is almost unimaginable.
Evan here he hits the gap, he's in the opening, he's gonna have a long look. That's a pretty common landing zone for most people if you hit that gap.
I'm going with my flippy or nuke here.
Ooh, this is looking good.
And it held just enough straight to get right up there into the circle.
Very nice.
That's 25, 30 footer there.
And that's got to be 470 plus power probably?
Yeah, that's a rip.
If not more.
I'm throwing max distance power because I know I'm not going to go long of the pin here, so I have nothing to hold back.
Kelsey kind of turning that one over a little bit. She's going to be at the bottom of the hill here. She's going to try to attack this gap now on her second shot, get herself in a circle here. Looks like she's got a mid-range or a putter in her hand.
And it gets through those.
Wow. That'll work.
Yeah, she's laughing about it. She knows she caught a break there, but that should be a pretty easy 3 is what it looked like.
Evan with another bid. Can't get the third jump putt in a row to go, but he's been pretty solid all day. I think we can.
Yeah, okay, Kelsey's a little short there. That'll be a little bit of a tester. And I'm really hoping to make this. I didn't start quite as fast as I wanted to, but that feels good. I don't think I had birdied that hole, especially in tournament play before, so that felt really good.
Yeah. Robert with a spectacular drive here, taking his time. He's knowing he's setting the pace here. He can't let you and Evan kind of charge up and sneak up on him. He's trying to make sure he keeps that.
Yeah, something that really impressed me with how Robert plays is he's very calm, cool, collected. He doesn't get really angry about any of his shots. Obviously, anybody can get frustrated, which he did a couple times, but he was really good at keeping his cool, focusing on the next shot, taking his time on the putting green no matter what the distance, knowing that every single stroke counts. His gameplay really impressed me, and I'd like my mental game to get to where his is right now. He's got a lot of good disc golf ability. Hole 11, par 3, 370 feet. The ideal play for a righty is to throw a backhand Annie unless you have 500 feet of power on a sidearm spike hyzer, which you, McMahon, you can try that, but not a lot of other people can do that, I think.
We got a guy in Michigan who can try it.
Andrew Merweed?
Patrick Nemmer.
Yeah, there you go.
He could go for it. Him and about 2 other people in this world.
Yeah. And Robert doesn't quite get this turned over enough, but I think he made it out to did he make it out to the open there?
Yeah, he's in the fairway on that backside, yep. What are you throwing here?
I'm going with my flippy Paige Pierce nuke here. Really putting a ton of turn on this disc.
Oh, yes. Come on, sit.
And it's flexing out.
Sit. Yeah, that's a putt, though.
It's 35-foot death putt.
Yeah.
So
we all love death putts.
Yes.
When we're watching it, not when we have it. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry for you, but for us, entertainment-wise, we love it.
The suspense, the drama.
Evan probably throwing something similar nuke-wise. He's also going to be in that gap there as well.
Yeah. And I aced this hole on my second throw in practice, but it was still quite incredible. My mom freaked out, and it was quite the enjoyable time. Kelsey,
I love this play.
this is a really good play.
Take notes here. If you don't have, like, I don't have the power to attack this hole, but I definitely have the power to do what she's doing, which is to get into the gap and then throw an upshot. Get a little unlucky there, a little too wide, but that's exactly how you play. If you can't get there in one, put yourself in the best position to get up and down and take that par.
Mm-hmm. Robert throwing probably a pig, I'd assume.
I hope so, because pigs are awesome.
And he puts that pretty close there. That'll work. Evan jump putting.
Another one. Oh, come on.
That is such a good putt.
It's his third one in 4 attempts.
And getting the crew view, and I think I might have even said something like, "There's your crew view, buddy."
Yeah, yep, you sure did.
They had no idea what I was talking about, but I knew what I was talking about, and he nails that one.
What's a crew view? It's like...
I never explained it to him either. So.
Oh, come on. You got to explain it to him. That's okay.
And
Robert just tapping in real quick and getting out of Kelsey's way.
Mm-hmm. Kelsey finds an awkward spot here, and she almost throws it in, but that's
got to stop.
Almost had.
That's got to stop.
With all that angle, it was almost a guaranteed roll away from there, and she goes all the way down the hill.
That's super unfortunate.
And she even knew it as soon as it came out of her hand. She was like, "Oh, there it goes."
Mm-hmm. And she just has to lay it up now and take her medicine from that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we finally get to you. It's been a minute.
Got a 35-footer. I have to go straddle here. The weeds were in a little awkward spot.
Bang.
And got it. That putt felt really good. Just outside the circle. I was able to get the drop.
I'm a little upset with you right now, though, because you said you aced it, even though it was a second shot. You could have aced it on my channel. That'd have been great.
Sorry.
Why are you so selfish to do it during practice rounds, Luke? I'm just kidding. No, but
I take zero offense.
As we're going to head now into hole 12, par 3, 344 feet. This is a righty backhand power shot. It plays much closer to 400 pure power wise. You got to put it on the right side of this fairway and then try to have it fade back to the left. The farther left is not actually ideal. You kind of want it to finish straight-ish, right? The other play is to probably throw something a little straighter on a lot of highs and try to get it to flip up a little bit to have that straighter finish. But tough hole. If you get right or left either way, you kind of put yourself in danger of the bogey.
Yes, you would like to throw a disc that is slightly flippy to straight here because you want that late flip to get as far up the hill as you can. And
inside, yeah.
I knew this was way too far left. It catches that tree. Fights through enough, I'll have a pretty simple approach into the green from there. Evan throwing a nuke.
This is a pretty good line here if it gets around that tree.
Yep, and that'll be right in the middle of the fairway.
Yep, there it is. We got Robert up next. We know he's got the power to get there.
Yes, he's got that flippy destroyer in hand.
Whoa.
And he gets it. He hits the line just right, and it's going. Great. That's such a good shot. You can't do it much better than that.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's fantastic. Holy smokes.
Really well thrown there from Robert.
Kelsey here. This is looking like a great line.
Needs to get a little left.
Yep.
And it does.
Right
it's
on the
in
edge.
Fairway.
And that's probably what I'd have to do, too. Just throw something right into that gap. And then this is a tough upshot, too, because you're going to be standing on an uphill slope, but Kelsey just lasers it.
Gives a little slide there, but you'll have a putt to save her par.
Yep, it looks like you got through, just like you said. Is that a zone?
Yes.
Is that just a Z zone, a flex zone?
Just a regular Z zone. My buddy Huck died for me, and he gave it to me as a Christmas present.
Oh.
We were doing that sort of a thing.
Cool.
That was cool. And I was like, sweet. And it's been in my bag since then.
Very cool. Evan with a simple upshot. He's going to be next to the basket. Robert with the birdie look. Now he can kind of separate himself a little bit here, get 2 strokes.
Yes, 20-footer to get to 6 down.
Super good. Yeah.
And that was a little bit
low.
Yes. But that'll work. This hole is... Yeah,
no.
That was ridiculous.
How did that come? Did that hit a ring?
I don't know. It might have. All I remember is, I was like, oh, Evan's going to make this putt. He's going to get a par. And then all of a sudden, his disc is lying on the ground. I saw it spit out, and I can't help but feel for him.
That was crazy. That must have hit the ring or something, but that was so low.
Sometimes you just a little too much hyzer, and the basket's like, nope, you hit my pole.
Consistency is the foundation that talent thrives from.
Paul steps up.
Day after day and year after year. Luck has nothing to do with it.
Hole 13, par 3, 526. I'd say this hole is I'd say almost the second, if I had to place it in my head, second hardest difficulty to par. Because this hole is so hard to get a birdie on. The ideal play is to try to get a forehand or a backhand turnover going down the gap, just your highest percentage shot. You're really looking to get around that big bushy tree, and if you do, you're probably going to be in the tunnel with like a long look at a birdie, but
Yeah, this is headed right into that tree. You want to be to the left of the tree, correct?
yes.
With your shot.
Yes.
And he's going straight into it. And you'll be
Gets
great roll, honestly.
Gets a good roll down there.
Yeah, that's going to keep him away from the tree and put him towards the pipe. So, What are you throwing here?
I'm going with the nuke that I threw on the last hole, and I put this a little too far left. You want to
get through.
And it.
Oh, wow. I wanted to get a little through, not all the way through. Holy smokes.
Yeah, that's going to be a tricky upshot from there.
This is not her normal disc. What is that?
She is throwing, I believe, a mid. It's either a mid or a slow
Oh,
fairway.
that meteor?
It's either it might be a meteor, but not the one I was talking about on the front nine.
Gotcha.
But she's just throwing something to go straight to the bottom.
Yeah, she's there. Looks like Evan's going to go with a forehand as well. Looks like something Z plastic. Maybe.
Yes, this is a force.
Yeah.
Force.
This is looking pretty good. If it stays left, it's got to stay left of that tree. Goes through it. Get left. And yeah, he's on the edge there. He'll have that big tree kind of in his way, but he can see down the fairway there. He'll see the basket, which is really important. Robert being actually in a great position looking at the basket there. You saw it through that zoom and just can see it straight away.
He'll get to the basket there, Kelsey.
That looks great. Nice up and down. All right, here
Okay.
you are in the woods. Tricky spot. What does it look like back there?
That didn't work. I had two shots. I had the inside line and the outside line, and at the moment I thought good shot from Evan here. That'll be an easy 3. At the moment I thought that the only way that I could get there was to the inside line, so that's what I tried, and I didn't think the outside line would have enough time to break before these trees. Just trying to give this a run, and it little high. I'm not too happy to be taking a bogey.
There we go. Kelsey getting a good catch there.
Yep. Very well done by Kelsey, getting a good 3.
Yep. She's really demonstrating on a lot of these holes. She's gotten unlucky on some of them, but she's really just demonstrating, saying she doesn't have the same power as you guys do, but just saying she knows what her game plan is. She's executing it, and Evan asking for that to stay in after his last hole, or that hole, whatever it was, 11. Hole 14 now, 700 feet. No OB, I don't think, plays on this hole.
None.
So even though there's an OB stake line for hole, was it 3? That is not an OB line for this hole, which is fine. You want to land right in front of this hill, and then from there attack the position. Very similar to hole 2, but not quite as big on the second shot.
Yes. Getting to the base of the hill with my power, my plan is to go distance driver, get to the base of the hill, and then throw a fairway driver up the hill, trying to slow it down coming to the green. Robert slips a little bit, and he's not too happy with that, but just see here in a second, it's still fine.
Yeah, if this is Robert's worst case scenario, then
I wouldn't call it his worst case scenario, but it's fine.
Yeah. We got Kelsey up next. She's throwing something flippier, trying to get that, push that power a little bit, and that's going to hyzer out a little too early, but she'll be a little short, but from there she can try to get farther up that hill.
Evan going Z-Nuke, and this is a little high, and he knows it, and it's fading too far left, and this is going to be really awkward footing on that side slope.
Yeah, that's the thing you really got to avoid the most is probably the bad footing on that left and right side.
Yes, the best thing to do is just keep it in the middle. No variance from left to right here.
This looks really clean.
Yes, this is exactly what I want to do here. Getting to the base of the hill, and from there I can attack the basket for sure.
Yeah, great spot. Kelsey not sure. Something ahead of her. Looks like she's ready now. She's going to give it a good pull. Oh, this looks pretty good.
Yeah, that'll be on the left side, but halfway up the hill, and that'll do just fine for her.
Now this is a tough spot. He's slanted.
Yeah, I believe he tried to do a run-up, and it just did not work, so now he's going to go to this standstill, throwing the same disc again.
Oh, that's a pretty good pull from a standstill. He's going to look like being in the same spot as Kelsey, or right about there.
A little bit further up the hill, but that's going to be a spot where he's just trying to put it close and get his easy par.
Mm-hmm. Looks like he's got his Halo Destroyer in hand.
I believe this is a Halo Thunderbird signed by Jeremy Colling, yes.
Oh, wow. I'm wrong. And
he gets it up there to about 20, 25 feet.
I swear, when he threw that, I thought he didn't give it enough. He looked so smooth. I was just like, oh, he left it short. And
Robert's a really smooth player, and you never know what you're going to get from him.
This looks really inside, but it's not. This is actually going to be really good. Yeah, fantastic Raptor shot from you. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
That was Raptor? Yes.
You'll see that a lot. Love that disc.
Here's Kelsey's shot. Up and over. Got a choke up, and that's a fantastic up shot. She's going to tap in her par.
Really well thrown. Yeah, this hole is a good birdie to get. If you have the power, it's one that you're definitely looking to get a 3 on. But a 4 here is still good.
Oh, my.
Really good shot there from Evan.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Little field days.
Yeah, without the OB, though, this hole is playing, I'd say, like a 3.75, 3.8. Not a lot of bogeys to be had here. Pretty easy just to take your 4 and even a 3.
Evan's going to tap his in. Got one more tap in here for our par. Pretty good scores here as we head into the most difficult hole on the course and my favorite. Go ahead and tell us about this one.
Hole 15, par 4, 960 feet. This hole, super difficult to par. You are trying to throw like a hyzer, maybe even low driven, trying to get it underneath the ceiling through the gap. You really have to be in the perfect spot to attack this green, and in order to get the birdie 3, I believe you have to have 450 plus of power. Definitely plus 450. I mean, it's 960, and that only adds up to 900, so you'd be 60 short. But 500 feet of power, I'd say 450, 500 feet of power is required. 2 perfect shots need to be had to get your 3.
The left side, and they did a really nice job of clearing out that left side because all where you see that brown was covered in like weeds and areas.
Yes.
So they did a really nice job of getting that area cleaned up. But you can see right where that spotter is and where Robert just kind of landed, there's still some rough spots over there. So if you get yourself early left or too far right past into that wall, you can find yourself in some really compromised positions.
Yes, they did a really good job clearing all the stuff out because if they didn't, I don't think you would see a lot of people even going for the 3, period. Yeah. A 4 here is a very good score.
Had an interesting conversation with several people about this hole, talking about par. A lot of them thought it should play as a par 5 for this event. I think the par 4 is...
it baits you into going for the 3.
Yeah, I think it does a little bit, and it also is... probably a little more accurate to the pro field. What we'll see in D-Glow, we'll probably see a few more scores
for this
down.
tournament. I think it's not that par really matters, just the strokes you take on the hole. But for this tournament, I feel like it should have been playing as a par 5 And for D-Glow, yeah, most of the pros there are throwing 500 plus, and
Right.
they have the chance to go for it.
Robert in a real tricky position here. He's going to have to just kind of scramble out here. Yeah, lots of
Needs to
power
go.
there. Yeah, but it's going to be on that left side, which is okay. Honestly, I think between the two positions, a little farther left is okay because you can see the basket from a hyzer position there.
Yeah, he'll have a straight 450-foot shot there.
Ooh.
And
Kind of
She's been
aggressive.
throwing this disc a lot, and I really wish I knew what it was, but that'll work for sure.
Yep, up the fairway there. Evan now.
Going with his force. But a little
Whoa.
low.
Oh, he gets a forward skip at least. And
Yeah, he's obviously
not happy about it, though.
about that.
Oh, and even you kind of choked off here.
Yeah.
Roach?
This is a hawk.
Hawk, okay.
And I'm just trying to get it to the middle, and that's as good as I could have thrown that,
Yep.
and that's as good as I'm trying to throw that there. It's right in the middle, just over the hill, and I'll have a pretty simple shot into the green from there. Robert,
Trying to get close to save a 4 here.
this would be a great 4 save. It's a little short. That's going to be a really tricky putt. Well thrown, though.
Yeah, he
to
was
say
in
the
a
least.
Yeah, he was in a tough spot there. That was a great shot. Evan looking to do the same thing here.
Yeah, I don't... This is ESP Swirl something. Might be a Hades. I'm not exactly sure.
Definitely starting to come back now. He's looks almost
Same
the
spot as Robert.
They're going to be disc buddies over at the bottom of the hill.
It's going to be a putt off there.
Yeah. Tough spot to be, but it's a safe run at least, so they'll be able to be as aggressive as they want almost.
Uh-huh. And Kelsey gets a good move on this.
Yeah, this is spectacular.
Very well thrown. Oh, and even climbing the hill. And that's going to be a
Oh,
textbook
my.
for. Textbook. Very well done.
But that's so incredible to watch this because this hole played as 4.98, so almost a full
Yes.
stroke over par. There was one birdie on the day, which was kind of a throw-in from about 100 feet, I heard. So
This is a little low. This needs to get going up the
up,
hill.
up.
Got the speed right, just not the height.
yeah, just inside circle there. But it's just so incredible to see, you have 3 guys here that are just, big power throwers, and then Kelsey, who's not that same caliber of power, but she's able to take the easiest. Oh, dang, Evan, look, he is on fire from C2 today. But
It's a very good save.
he's fantastic. But, Kelsey just attacks the hole as it was intended and takes the easiest par.
Yes. Robert thought he made that.
Yeah, gave it a little baby run in, but didn't catch on that
I'm not
high.
exactly happy with that either.
Here you are.
Here we go.
Yeah, that'll work. Good putt from you. Robert's going to run up his putt. We're going to wait for Kelsey to tap in her par. But 3 pars here. Really, Evan had to earn his a little bit with that C2 look, but does a nice job of doing it. And but 3 pars, 1 bogey. That's pretty good, actually, honestly, for this hole.
I know that this is a lot of ladies' first tournaments.
So many new female players.
Bigger women's divisions, more women's divisions. We're all coming out here to do it together, and that's what's pretty cool. The sport's just growing, and it's exciting to see.
Hole 16 here, 396 feet. One of the easier holes on the course, one of the very few, in fact, looking at stats here, the only one that played under par today.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I'm not sure what other hole. Yeah, there are a couple par 4s that I would imagine should be attackable.
I would
but
think full 14 would be playing under par, but
very close, 0.01 over par for that hole.
okay.
But what you're doing right here is the play. You're just going to throw it up the gut, try to beat these trees on the left. If you can keep it low, you can kind of attack the circle a little more aggressively.
Yeah,
but
a little bit lower, a little bit more flip, and you can get to the pin pretty easily. I'm just outside the circle there fighting through the pine trees, which is really lucky. You don't want to be under those ones.
And just as a side note, too, Robert takes a bogey there on hole 15, and he is still 6 down.
Yes, Robert is playing a very, very solid round.
Kelsey turns this one over
Yeah.
a little too much. Yeah, she's going to be in those weeds on the right side of the fairway from the tee.
She's going to be scrambling from there. Evan throwing a Missy Gannon Undertaker here. And this is pured.
Oh, this looks so good. Little baby counter skip. Yep, absolutely. And that's perfect.
That's very easy, too. Very easy. Robert throwing a mid, I think?
Yeah, this looks like a rock of some kind.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
It's a little left. It needs to beat those trees like mine did.
Scoot.
And it catches him, and he's going to be underneath that one. He might have to go to a knee there.
Here's Kelsey's up shot.
She puts it really nice and close there. That'll be a very easy 3.
Yeah, I think she pushed past that first tree there. She's going to be on the other side of it. Yep, we have Robert at a knee here.
From 40, 45 maybe. I don't know.
Ooh.
Off the top.
It's so hard to get the height from that position and that distance, so a good bid from him. What are you thinking right now?
I'm thinking I've made this putt 1,000 times at my house.
Yes, sir. And now 1,001 total, 1 at the course. Evan with a tap in indeed. And Robert just taking a second here, making sure he stays dialed in. You're kind of putting the pressure on him now. You're 1 stroke back. Even Evan's 2 strokes back. You guys are kind of racing here for that first position. We were looking at scores now. You guys know where you're kind of laying up here. Score-wise, you guys are kind of leading the pack, so kind of buying for position here. Every stroke counts.
Yep. 17, par 4, 755 feet. Number 1 rule, clear the OB or just put it to the right. You just want to keep it out of the OB. The whole play is pretty simple. Other than that, crush a drive, throw a disc up the hill, get your 3, walk away. 4 is not a bad score here, considering the hillside rollaways do happen.
Oh, yeah. And this OB, in my memory, is tighter than normal. Is that accurate?
I'm not sure. It felt like they might have brought the line up a little bit from past years.
Because it just looks really right. And this is over the OB the whole time.
Yes, this needs to get
Push.
right.
Push.
And that's OB.
Not gonna.
No, I might be able to take it up there. We'll see.
Here's Evan. Looks like he's throwing, something way flippier.
Yeah, this is his flippy Z-Nuke. He gets it turned a
Yep.
little too much. That's going to be perfect, actually. No, he got the distance just right there. I couldn't remember if he went a little too far right or not, but that's right where he wants to be.
Yep. And he's on flat ground, which is an extra bonus because there's lots of little hills in this area, in this fairway here.
Yes, for sure.
Kelsey's doing the same thing. It looks like she's stabling out as well. That's got to stay in bounds, and it's not going to. It's going to be interesting to see where you guys are going to get placed here.
Yes, for sure. And Robert, stable destroyer here. I know this thing is very overstable. And he's just rips it flat.
Mashes on it.
Probably like 85% power, puts it very far right, and it just fades right out and into that little ridge spot, and he'll have a
little low spot.
And they didn't let me take it up there, and watching the coverage back makes me think I might have been up there, but nothing I can do about it now. So ripping on my flippy nuke here because I don't have my other one, and I'm done because I know I can get a 3 on this little super easy, and I just completely messed it up. So
what a mash.
I was just ripping it as hard as I could.
Well, that's a pretty good rip, and that's going to be an easy up and down from there, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Even maybe a baby run from there. And it looks like Kelsey's in the same spot as you, maybe a little farther forward.
Not much, no. Hers was a little early as well, and almost kills the camera guy.
He's never been hit by a disc either.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm very surprised
We're
that you guys
we're very proud of that reputation of never touching a disc.
I'm sure nobody's ever brought it up to you.
We do actually, the fun game I usually tell people when I'm filming. I didn't film this event because I was really sick the week before, and I was still recovering. But the fun game I usually tell people when I'm filming them is if you do hit Donut, that's his name, in the fairway, it's called a donut hole-in-one. But no one's ever hit him, so we have no claims, no aces, and no donut hole-in-ones.
We need an ace.
I'll take the ace before I get a donut hole-in-one, please. We got Kelsey up next.
And you haven't seen this disc the whole round, and nor have I. I had no idea that she had that one in her bag. She throws a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah. She knows what works, and it works for her, so she just keeps utilizing that. It feels like a similar strategy like what?
Half run.
Yeah. What like Nate Wegren did when he did the Oakland County Championship. He threw 5 total discs
Really?
from 5 different manufacturers and won the event.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
He threw the same 5 discs the whole tournament.
Yep. Wizard, Buzz OS, Cloudbreaker 2, I don't know, Firebird, and something else. I forget the other one.
That's ridiculous. Good on him.
Yeah, and but like Kelsey kind of has a similar approach, right? She knows what discs work for her. She knows how to throw them, and that's what she does.
I don't know how much Kelsey exchanges her discs, but I know that she has a lot of old plastic, and she knows how every single one of them flies, and she makes it work.
Here we go, Evan, just outside, circle
And
2.
he catches the basket and rolls down to the right.
Stop. Where are you going?
It does stop. He's like 25 feet.
Okay.
So he has a chance to save his 4 here.
He's been so good from circle 2 as well. It was like strange to watch him miss that, but
Yeah,
see if
just
he-
the elevation, the footing, I don't know. But he catches the cage again,
No.
and this one takes off.
oh my,
All the way down that path.
making you move now.
I wasn't offended by it. I was just starting to feel for him. And all of us were, because he had a good round. 4 down is really solid in that.
And all of a sudden he's gonna take a double here.
Yes.
This is, yeah, and you can see his reaction kind of in the background. He was like, "What just happened here?" I went from trying to save something to I just lost it completely. But
What impresses me about both him and Robert, their mental game is they're both really strong. I know if that happened to me, I would be so mad. I don't have as strong as a mental game as I would like to, but
you can see the
That's what I'm
frustration
working on.
still. Yeah, but I mean, like you said, that 2 down was right around that 1,000 rated mark. So I mean, he's
Yeah,
still in that.
he still has a chance to
Yeah.
shoot in a 1,000 rated round. Hole 18, that's your hole.
It is 315 feet. OB still along this entire left side where you see the long grass and over. That is OB. You do not want to be in the woods on the right, but what you need to throw is a turnover backhand righty shot that holds for a long time, and it's a little more inside from the tee pad than you would think in order to attack this basket.
Yes, ideally, if you have a 400-foot forehand, then that's the play.
Yep.
But none of us on this card do.
This is and like
Inside circle 1.
Yeah, that felt super inside the whole way, but that's exactly what you need to do to give yourself a chance.
I'm going Thrasher here, really understable.
Really, what kind of plastic is that?
That's an ESP Thrasher. That's my roller disc, and this hole's so far uphill that it can work here. I tried it in practice, and that's what was working best. Didn't quite get the distance there. And Evan looks at the scores and he says to be on lead card, I need to get a birdie. And he's going roller.
Roller. That's so tough with the hill. And yeah, there.
And it cuts right out of bounds.
Yeah.
Right onto the toboggan runs.
That's a shame. I mean, I like the aggressive play, but like from that hill, that's a tough roller to get up
Yeah.
and over.
Nicola Castro does it well, but Evan unable to do it there. And that's going to be most likely a 4 for Evan.
Yeah, he's so far back. There's no drop zone here, so there's not like a benefit to get that really good par save position, but
Kelsey throwing a very good upshot there, and that
Yeah.
should be a 3.
he's still going to run it, I bet. He's got lots of power in his putt, and
he
he immediately turns around, knows he doesn't have a chance, but he's up there, and he should be tapping in for his unfortunate bogey to end it.
And I'm like 60 here, so this isn't one that I'd be upset with if I missed.
Give it a bid anyway.
Yeah, and that's going to be a par.
I think you've had 4 of those where you've been on perfect line, just low.
Yeah, it's just getting the distance there is difficult, and Robert finishing strong. Very good round by Robert, 7 under.
It's a super great round from Robert there. Evan here to tap in his shot, yeah. That 7 down rated at 10:43. Great way to start off the event. Kelsey, you got to finish up tapping in your pars here.
That was not the greatest happen.
That was scary.
I'll take it.
But it counted. It didn't pop out. We're good there. And Taking a look here at our standings and our scores here. A few more double bogeys this time with that OB coming into play, but looks like Robert in the lead with that 7 down, you in second with that 4 down, and a couple more people. Looks like we got Sean at 3 down, and we have Brandon at 3 down. So we got a couple of new faces here for round 2 when we come back, and super excited to have you back for round 2 as well, Luke.
Yes, of course.
See you then.